Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my dark knights. It is a Thursday after a new Gotham episode, so you know what that means. It is time for the Bat Brand reviews, the latest episode of this new Gotham episode season 5, episode 10, Bane. Um, I gotta say, Bane destroyed literally everybody. But I just want to say this before I get into my review. Gotham, what the heck? You took 2 weeks off, and I understand Fox can go screw themselves after this. They screwed over Gotham. They took 2 weeks off to show this episode, which was really good, and then now they're not going to be cut back for another 4 weeks. For another 4? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just really upset about it. But I just want to say this: Is Alfred dead? Is Alfred dead? I don't think he is. But is Alfred dead? I think he straight broke his back and knocked him out. I don't think he's dead, but you never know. But anyway, I'm going to get right into this review. How it went is it all started out with, I guess they did a time jump. From what they didn't exactly say anything about it, but it was during they said last year. So apparently it was a year time jump in between the last episode and this episode that came up. Now, basically it was Unification Day with them and the mainland, the government, and the general of the U.S. Army decided to come in and meet them. Well, this big black truck came rolling in. It was very Dark Knight Rises esque, if I could say that, a very Dark Knight Rises esque. This episode, what it was is, I came in and they threw this smoke out and. You see this guy walking down it. Well, first it all starts out with how the transfer from Eduardo into Bane. And that's why I said it seemed very Dark Knight Rises-esque. Even his voice sounds something straight out of the Dark Knight Rises movie, the Bane, just because of just the way he talked. It sounded like it. And I know that it's very much influenced by Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy and his Dark Knight trilogy and whatnot. So it makes sense. But I'll just say this. I didn't like the big humongous centerpiece he put on him, but he looked really good. Like, Bane, I'll be honest. Like, played really good and he did really good, but eventually I think Bane's just going to do whatever. I, I think Bane's gonna end up betraying Nissa. Oh, sorry, I just threw out that word. Spoiler alert: we're gonna find out about her shortly. Those of you that watch the Green Arrow know who I'm talking about. But anyway, Jim walks out through the smoke and he sees a guy that he remembers who looks like Eduardo, and he goes, "Eduardo, no, Eduardo's dead. There's only Bane now." And he shoots him with this tranquilizer dart. Him, the U.S. Army general, and Bruce Wayne. And then we cut to them all stuck in this house, this abandoned house, with Director Walker, or whatever her name is, Walker. And she says, "This is not about you." He goes, "You have me," what's his name? Gordon says, "You have me." He goes, "You don't need the rest of them. You have me, and you have the U.S. Army General. You don't need anyone else." And she says, "Oh no, on the contrary, this is all about the sins of Bruce Wayne. And there's a certain man that, for what you did to someone that you took away from me." And at first I was thinking it was Jeremiah Valeska, And that was her mom. That was his mom. And surprise, surprise, she's not dead. Jerome didn't kill her. Um, I was thinking that, and then I'm like, they're gonna straight do a Dark Knight Rises surprise, aren't they? This is Talia al Ghul. But then I'm like, no, Talia al Ghul would be around the age of Bruce because she's around Bruce's age. Um, she like a grown up and he was still a teenager, so it doesn't make any sense. Um, so what it did was she basically said, "I am Nissa Al Ghul, and I am here for revenge, and that is the least of your worries." And she says about how the League of Assassins, the League of Shadows, are everywhere. You really think you got rid of us once you killed Raish? I'm here for revenge for what you did to my father. What you guys don't know, Nissa Al Ghul is one of the sisters of, well, basically one of the, I guess one of his daughter, yeah, one of the daughters of Ra's al Ghul. The one we all know is, of course, Talia, but she is not technically born yet. Technically, she's not alive yet. But here's what I don't understand: Nissa knows about the Lazarus Pit, or maybe she doesn't. She knows well enough that he can be reborn. He can be reborn even if they have a little bit of his skin tissue. He can be reborn and revitalized just from that. Like, I don't understand. Or they if they have his dead body, they can bring him back. And they know that. But I guess she just wanted revenge at the moment. But it all comes down to, but I don't know how she knew this, but she knew this. Fruit. Fruit? You mean Groot? Hey, Davey, how's it going? But I don't know how she knew this. I guess just if you're part of the League of the Shadows, you know everything. I mean, they all just know what's going on. At first, I thought she was Lady Shiva. Because it would make sense. Lady Shiva is a member of the League of Shadows as well. But then she said her name. That was Nissa Al Ghul, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And then she gets on talking about, you weren't the only one who plunged the knife in, though. It was a certain Barbara King, and I'm like, go get Barbara King, and I'm like, oh, Bane went to go get Barbara, and James Gordon's like, stop. She's with child. She has a child. Eduardo, please. And he says something about the child. You really couldn't understand what he was exactly saying when he said it. But he said something about the future. And he went after her at the clinic. Which at the time, Penguin, Riddler, and Barbara are trying to leave the city, and she goes into labor, so she has to go into the clinic. Which I love. The banter between them kind of had some comedy in it, gave it some comedy, and gave it some funny aspects to the episode, which I loved. But they had their moments, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. That moment when they, what was it? That moment when, like, right when she was about to go into when she was going into labor, and they were in the clinic, and surprise, surprise, Bane's attacks the clinic, and they have to escort her out and try and get her out so Bane can't get her. There's an awkward moment between Riddler and Lee. He's like, just for the record, you stabbed me first. And he still has feelings for her, obviously. Of course he does. That's fine. Of course he does. He did. He should always, I think. It would take away from the storyline. But he and Penguin decided, oh, I thought of a better idea. And he tells this little riddle about death to him. And then after that, they set off this explosive. This explosive canister is packed onto a shopping cart and send it flying at Bane, and it explodes, and Bane just brushes it off like it's nothing. It's Um, like that is literally Bane. Like Bane in the comics, Bane in the Batman Arkham games. Everywhere you see Bane, that it makes sense. That is Bane to a T. Um, but back to what I was saying about with all them. Uh, I literally thought, this was the episode. Barbara's gonna die. But I think they're gonna save that for one more episode. I think they're gonna save that for the next episode, which is 4 weeks away. It's not coming till April 18th. Sorry, I'm a little upset about it, but we're gonna go through the review. Anyway, what happened next is uh, she has them all in the house, as I said, and she's telling them different stuff. And I don't know how she knew about the whole Barbara thing, as I said. The other thing I wanted to discuss also was afterwards, Bruce tries to get out, which is a cool thing by Bruce. He does the old thing you always see in all the action movies. He sees a little fire. He sees a candle lit on fire, and he was tied by rope, and he basically burns the rope with the thing and gets out. But in the same building, they take James and the general downstairs into where Hugo Strange, surprise, surprise, welcome back to Hugo Strange, which he was the one that created Bane. He's creating all of Nyssa Al Ghul's soldiers for him with nothing other than Venom. Or like the precursor to Venom or whatever it is, but I think it's definitely Venom. They just didn't say what it was. But he said that Bane wanted to join. Nyssa said that Bane wants you to join him. Eduardo did say or she calls him Bane, and said that she wanted to join you. She wanted you to, join him, and be with him like he used to be. And he takes him downstairs, starts putting the venom in him. Hugo does, and then he breaks free. James does. He breaks free, takes down Hugo, and of course, like he always does, he runs away. He's a coward. The Hugo Strange is a coward. But he was checking once he was releasing, the army general was checking him to see if he could if he had a chip in him too, which we find out later he did still have one in him. He had one in him. But what it was is Nyssa's whole grand master plan is this Order 386 or something it's called, where it is basically they have a counteractive measure or a contingency plan if something were to ever happen, and Gotham could not be saved, that it would be turned to rubble and they would destroy Gotham City. And the only one who could do that was the Army General, which he took control of the Army General, and they didn't know that. By the time they got back to the base, he executed Order 386 and told them to start firing at Gotham. Firing the missiles at Gotham and turning it to rubble. And I guess it's going to be, like, they're going to have to rebuild it. I kind of want to see what happens, going forward in the next episode, because I don't know how they're going to rebuild after what's happening now. It's literally going to look like a wasteland. And really, that's what they were going to do, No Man's Land, turn it into a wasteland almost, and then they're going to have to rebuild it from the ground up, and then we'll have that time jump, I think. But the next episode, I see him actually, from what it seems like, he's really going to take the roles of his vigilante get up and everything. So, but what it is we then transition there to where I was talking about in the hospital, where she is having her baby, and they are running off And as they're running off, Bane is chasing them throughout the hospital. Um, they did deter him with the whole shopping cart explosive thing. But I liked the little heart to heart that Barbara had. Barbara had a little heart to heart with um, what's her name, Lee, and she said, "Heck, I tried to kill you twice. How does this look? I'm a criminal." Because Lee finds out because Barbara stole a part from Penguin and Riddler, and they came back to come get it. Um, so basically, she found out she was leaving Gotham, and they had a big heart to heart about what are you doing? You don't think you Jim doesn't think you're a criminal. Jim doesn't think that doesn't think all these things about you. He wants what's best for the child. And she even said, "This is awkward." And she goes, "I can help too." She said, "Wow, this is awkward." And she goes, "Didn't I even tried to kill you like twice." And they had a little heart to heart and friendship with it. And I think this whole thing is going to this whole this whole ordeal is going to bring them closer together. And what's going to happen is they didn't name the child yet. So I think Barbara is going to die, and I'm going to tell you why here shortly. Uh, Bane drops down from the window then, and Bane drops down from the window, and basically is right there getting ready to kill both of them. Or basically Barbara, because he was sent to go kill Barbara for helping Bruce kill Ra's al Ghul. But what it was is, luckily, Bruce got on this walkie-talkie and called on the walkie-talkie to anybody in the GCPD, and luckily uh, Selena and Alfred were there, and they got a hold of it, and they raced to the medical clinic to go save Barbara and Lee from Bane. Luckily, they got there just in time. They hit Bane with the car in Batman-esque fashion. I think Bane's gonna get used to getting hit by cars. He gets hit by the Batmobile later in his life. He's gonna get hit by a lot of stuff. Because obviously regular punches don't work, and we find that out because Alfred decides he's gonna take him on and says, "Get in the car," and he pumps himself up. He punches him. He gets a good hits in, and then Bane turns around and beats the ever-living crap out of him. He destroys him, and then I'm pretty sure straight Batmans him and breaks his back off of a metal pipe and knocks him out, and then walks away. I honestly thought he would have killed... I thought he was going to kill Selena there, but he didn't. But whatever. But once they got back to the thing, the other thing I wanted back to the army base, the other thing I did want to talk about too was they saved Harvey told Jim that his baby was born and that everything was okay with all them, and he was very happy, and then they arrested him, but luckily they got out of the arrest thing, and then as that happened, they saw the planes flying in, missiles going off. It kind of reminded me of Batman Arkham, the Arkham games as well, because it reminded me of Protocol 10. They brought in all these helicopters in, and they were just setting off explosives and missiles all over the city and destroying the city. And I think that's going to be the thing for next episode. The last thing is back at the Sirens. Lee is there. With Barbara. She just had the baby. They did not name it yet, and she walks in to where the Sirens bar is. And granted, she still has all her female members of the League of Shadows with her. They're all dead. And then you hear Nissa Al Ghul's voice, And just when Lee's about to say something, she knocks out Lee and then says, "Oh, hello, Barbara. It's great that we finally meet. I hear that you're acquainted with my father." And then touches the baby and ends the um, episode there. But something's gonna happen. I think she's gonna attempt to try and steal her baby. Here's what I'm thinking. Maybe the baby's not Barbara. Maybe. Maybe it's not Barbara. Maybe that baby's Talia. Maybe it's Talia. In this universe, it's Talia, and she takes that baby. It's just a thought. Either it's just a thought. It's way out of left field. I know it's probably not gonna. It's probably Barbara Gordon in the future. That baby is gonna be Barbara Gordon, but just a thought popped in my head. Maybe it's not. What if in this Gotham universe, Nyssa takes that baby, survives all this stuff with Bane and all this stuff, and takes that baby and calls her the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, and basically calls her Talia and names her Talia. That would be interesting because technically, if you watch the other seasons, I think season 4 or season 4, Barbara had the powers of the demon's head and different stuff like that, and apparently she like has this connection to Ra's al Ghul, which I don't know how, because Ra's al Ghul sought her out, and different stuff like that. So, and brought her back to life for different reasons like that. So maybe it is, but I don't know. I'm hoping it's Barbara. I'm hoping this is Barbara Gordon in the Gotham universe, because that would be cool. I kind of want to see what happens in the time jump episode, because I kind of hope they show that baby and say, "Oh, this is that baby now," and that would be cool. But the next episode, from what they show in the preview, it seems like Bruce is going to pick up that vigilante man, really just going to pick it up to protect Gotham and from this destruction that's coming. Basically, because with Order 386 now in effect, it's basically like Protocol 10 from Arkham City. These helicopters are flying around, setting off missiles everywhere, turning into a literal wasteland, destroying everything, and it showed like all this devices just sitting on this table, and Selina's like, "Really, Bruce? I think this is a little much." He goes, "No, it's not enough. It's time that I take up my mantle and become the protector of Gotham." And it showed these bats flying out of this corridor and different stuff, and I think that's going to be his inspiration. That is his inspiration. We've seen a little bits and pieces, but they said there are only 2 more episodes. So are they not doing 13 now? Because this was episode 10 now. So are they not doing 13 episodes now? Or are they doing just 12? I'm confused. I guess they're only doing 12. I thought they were doing 13. But I did love Bane. The Bane character that they put in here, I really thought they were gonna flop it, but they didn't. They're doing 12. Of course they are. Of course they are. Thank you, Zentrexify. I think I'm saying your name right. Thanks for that. So they're only doing 12. I don't know why. I wish Fox wouldn't. Fox. What happens with Fox? I mean, I understand Disney had a little something to do with it, with the Disney and Fox merger. But why do they gotta crush everything good about shows? Why do they gotta end it? This is Fox. Fox just cancels all their shows that are actually good. But it's whatever. Still, if I would have to put this up to the episode with the Jeremiah and Bruce fight, the Ace Chemicals, this is like 2. This is like the second best episode of this season, with the Ace Chemicals being number 1, this one being number 2, and I think I'm just holding out hope. I think that Batman episode is going to be my favorite of all of them, considering I am a big Batman fan, but Heck, my name's the Batman, obviously. But I really do think that in the next episode, mark my words on this, Barbara's gonna die, protecting Jim or protecting the baby and Jim, or just protecting Jim, and other things are gonna happen. I think Nissa's gonna die too. We're gonna kill off that whole All Ghoul line. Um, has a higher ratings than the Flash and Arrow, and they still decide to make it end. Like, where's the logic in that? Exactly. Thank you. Like, and that's the thing that I'm saying. Like, it's not to Fox's standards, basically. What I'm hoping is they cut that show Lucifer that a lot of people liked that I heard of, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. A lot of people like that, and they took that show on other channels. Now, I'm really hoping that once it's taken off, they would take it, but at this point, what would you do? They're doing Batman, and at that point, it's pretty much done. So, what I'm thinking is make it into a Batman show. You already got, what's his name established, or David Masseuse established as Batman. Why don't we just do, I mean, I understand most shows, they don't have the budget, but what if you get a big, if they get picked up by a big company like Netflix or different stuff like that, they can afford to do stuff like that. But, I mean, it sucks. It's only 2 more episodes left, but, and I'm gonna be upset because for 4 weeks I'm gonna have to wait for another episode, but it'll build up the hype. It'll build it up, but I just want to see the last episode to see what all these characters look at the end. I just want to see like what Jeremiah. I know we're gonna see Jeremiah again. He says he has several parts yet in I think the last episode, in the Batman episode. And I don't know if he will have a scene in the next episode or not, but we may see something of him. I'm hoping we do. But I do not like the bald Joker look, the leak photo. Sorry, I don't like the bald Joker. He needs hair. Please, God, give him hair. Give him something. But still, just to see, he looks very Joker-esque in the leak photo from, if you guys saw it. I don't know if you guys did, but you need to, if it's still up. But that's pretty much the review I have for this episode, or for this live, guys. What did you guys think of the episode? Was it good? Was it one of the best of this season? I know this episode for me was very hyped because I wanted to see what Bane would do, and he did not disappoint. I also think Barbara is going to die protecting Jim, causing Jim to name the baby Barbara in memory of her sacrifice or something. Yeah! No. You're not crazy. I've been thinking that myself for a long time as well. I do see that happening. Especially the way they're killing off characters. They've killed off, I think almost every episode they've killed someone off. Almost. Like, they're minor characters. And I think Barbara is going to be the biggest character they kill at the end of the thing. Or maybe she sacrifices herself to kill Nyssa, too, to protect Jim. So maybe she'll do that to kill Nyssa. That's what I'm thinking. I think what's going to happen is she's going to basically, what's going to happen is she's probably going to have a sword or something. She's going to jab it through herself and through Nyssa and kill both of them. That's what I think. Or, I don't know. I mean, heck, she's done once before, she can come back again, right? Nothing is impossible especially in a comic story like that. Even in a Batman story, heck, everyone comes back to life. The Joker comes back how many times? He never dies. But it is going to be hard when Gotham's over in 2 episodes. I don't know what I'm going to do. I feel like there's going to be a part of me gone. And as Zextrify said, this show has a higher rating than The Flash, and the I don't know what Supergirl has. I don't know what the ratings for Supergirl, but they seem kind of pressured to do more Superman stuff, um, because of different things. Smallville was on CW, different stuff like that. So they kind of were pressured into doing it, and I think they were kind of pressured into bringing Lex Luthor into this season. Which why the heck is John Cryer from Two and a Half Men sticking Lex Luthor? Um, that's a topic for another day. But the Flash, I stopped watching the Flash after the Zoom season. At that point, there's really nothing they can do. And Arrow, they're ending Arrow. They're ending Arrow after their season. This season, they're on, I think, season 8. They're on right now, and I've stopped watching that after they showed Deathstroke. They never once mentioned Batman, and heck, WB owns DC. I mean, WB and DC are basically like sister programs together. So why the heck can't they say the name Batman? Why can't they show Bruce Wayne? Why can't they have him in an episode? I don't understand that. I really don't. Gotham has a higher rating than all live cable network superhero shows. I think the only one is Agents of Shield. Yes, Agents of Shield had a really big showing. I watched every season except for the last 2 they did. I think once they gave Quaker powers, that was the season I ended watching. I think the one where Daisy became Quake. That after that I stopped watching. But yeah, I honestly think that once that's over, I don't know. I mean, the only CW show that that I remember that had any traction and good ratings that were superhero shows are Supernatural, which are it's basically a superhero show. They're based off of the DC universe, I guess, and Smallville. Smallville, Flash did beginning of it, and Legends of Tomorrow is bleh. They have flattened. They are terrible. Why don't they get rid of that show? They're getting rid of Black Lightning. So I don't know. I really do hope. I mean, I want to really watch this Teen Titans show too. I've heard it's really good, but I heard that they kind of portray Batman in a bad light, and I don't like it. I don't like that. That's not my Batman. Batman don't kill people. Sorry, but I still say that whole thing is a Trigun thing. Which that's what I keep telling my friend Clint. He says no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it's a Trigun. It is Trigun messing with Dick. He can do that. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm going in 50 different directions here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, feel free, hit that like button. Comment and for what your favorite part in the episode was. If you enjoyed this episode and what you thought about this episode. And if you're upset about waiting 4 weeks for the next episode, because I know I am. After waiting 2 weeks for this one. But whatever. And and subscribe if you want to see more. And thank you guys so much for watching. And as always,